SuperTalk Mississippi media production.
You're listening to Sports Talk Mississippi On Demand, presented by Pearl River Resort. Escape to Choctaw, Mississippi and enjoy world-class gaming, the Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, and Geyser Falls Water Park. Escape to Pearl River Resort.
Sports Talk Mississippi is on the air. Sports Talk Mississippi is powered by C Spire. Power your home or business with C Spire Fiber. To learn more, visit supertalk.fm/C Spire. C Spire Fiber powers SuperTalk Mississippi. To the junction, in the Grove, and to the top. This is Sports Talk Mississippi. On your radio and in the game, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome in on this Thursday. Michael Borky, Brian Haydad, as always, with you. Sports Talk Mississippi from the Pearl River Resort Studio. We got a lot to talk about today. Trinidad Chambliss was denied. His career's over. Actually, no, not quite yet. In fact, not really at all. But the NCAA did deny his appeal. What does that mean? Well, it means what we talked about last week. A courtroom in Pittsburgh, Mississippi is going to decide his fate a week from today. We'll also talk some baseball. You have the preseason All-SEC teams in baseball and also the predicted order of finish. And we looked at the schedule yesterday for Ole Miss and State and how brutal the conference slate is. The order of finish is hilarious when you consider the talent level of the team picked like 14th in the league. It is a gauntlet. We will go through that. We will have a college football fix. We'll talk Southern Miss baseball with Dima and more with you. So glad you guys are here.
Another loaded day here on Sports Talk Mississippi. Of course, led by the fact that we will never see Trinidad Chambliss on a college football field ever again, according to some. Not people who know.
Some people that just...
Not people who know anything, but... They know how to aggregate and how to aggravate.
Oh, they sure know how to aggregate.
Yes.
Incorrectly.
Yes,
but still.
That's regardless. We are in the Pearl River Resort Studios. PearlRiverResort.com is the place for everything. For great food, great entertainment, great relaxation, great family fun. It's all right there for you at Pearl River Resort. Book your stay now at PearlRiverResort.com. C Spire text line is open to you. If you like to comment on the end of the career of Trinidad Chambliss.
It's over, yeah, completely over.
You can do that at 601-879-4395. Every sports fan can tell you fast speed wins games. That's why C Spire brings you fiber home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and IT solutions that move as fast as your business. Learn more at cspire.com. C Spire, inspired by you.
I did have fun last night. So Pete Thamel broke the news that the NCAA denied the appeal, which is not surprising. More on that in a second. We'll kind of go through all that together.
Sure.
But Pete Thamel used a picture of Austin Simmons in his report.
Like, at first I was like, did they reverse the picture? Because I know Chambliss is not left-handed. And then I was like, that's Austin Simmons.
My question, how do you do that? Because you can't Google Trinidad Chambliss and get a picture of Austin Simmons.
Well, you never know. But, like, billion-dollar company, and they can't be bothered to do what at least they didn't say Mississippi State quarterback. I guess small steps,
True.
Right?
But I did have fun. I tweeted a picture of Bo Wallace and said Ole Miss quarterback Trinidad Chambliss.
I couldn't tell who that was. Like, and I don't remember Bo Wallace's number, so I thought I was like, is that Chad Kelly? Who has he got there? I couldn't tell.
And then I took found a picture of Pittsburgh, in Pennsylvania, the big city.
Yeah.
And I said Chambliss's case against the NCAA will be heard in a Calhoun County courthouse in Pittsburgh, Mississippi, and I put a picture of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, up there.
Bunch of Yinzers in Pittsburgh, Mississippi. They're eating a Pomani Brothers sandwich up there right now.
So that did happen last night, and some people, Haydad's making reference to one SEC show in particular that they just can't. This is happening all across college sports, and you still don't quite know how it works. It kind of blows my mind. But the NCAA did deny his appeal. That is not particularly surprising. So let's start there. The NCAA denies his appeal. Does that mean that he has to go to the NFL? No. Why? Because the court case we're talking about next Thursday, a week from today, in Pittsburgh, Mississippi, that's where an injunction will be decided and very, very likely ruled in his favor, and he'll get to play in 2026. But the NCAA did deny his waiver. And I've seen this everywhere. I know other people have talked about this already today, but I've been asked and seen comments and stuff like, it feels like Ole Miss is getting singled out here. Why is the NCAA doing this just to Ole Miss? And my response is, read all of the other ones. Read Aguilar's denial. Read Bediako. Read them all. What was it? Ohio U's quarterback, I think, got denied today.
Parker Navarro, yeah.
Yeah. Read those, and you'll understand that. I mean, yes, the NCAA is omitting very important details and acting kind of in bad faith from a legal perspective. One of my lawyer friends told me today that that's going to be used against them next Thursday. But more on that in a second. It's not just you. It's not just Ole Miss that they are denying. The NCAA is desperate right now to create the illusion that they are doing everything that they can and they can't do anything. We know that's not true. We know they could have gotten out ahead of this. We know that they could enter into some kind of collective bargaining. We know they could do things, but they're choosing not to go down that road. So what they have to do is deny as many of these as possible. They have to fight this. They have to be strong about it to look like they are, number one, still in charge, and number two, desperate for Congress to step in and save them. They have to create that narrative. They have to paint themselves into a there's nothing we can do about anything corner. And so, yeah, they're going to use strong language when they deny Trinidad, when they deny Joey Aguilar, when they're doing this to everybody, though, that they are denying. It's not just an Ole Miss thing. They're doing this to everybody that they're denying lately in strong language. You're just only reading about the one that matters to you the most, so it feels pointed. It's not pointed. They're doing this to a lot of people right now because they have to.
Mm-hmm. This is so dumb. This whole experience is dumb. Like, why are we even waiting for next Thursday? We all know what's going to happen. You got an Ole Miss judge in Pittsburgh, which is what 30 minutes south.
Wait, doesn't
of
he also have an undergrad degree from Mississippi State though?
I don't think so. I don't know, but I think we all know where this is headed. There's no question. We're wasting everybody's time. He's going to be he's going to play. There's just no getting around that fact at this point for me.
I love this. Just the unethical Ole Miss ways. Somebody says, yeah. Goodness. You know Mississippi State is going to have a player older than Trinidad on the field this year, right? Playing his 7th year of college football. So, come on, guys.
Yeah, but he was really hurt.
A couple of times, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 2?
Yeah, I believe this is his second medical red shirt.
Which, by the way, I'm fine with.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine that he's playing. It doesn't bother me one bit. But
I mean, the NCAA allowed. They approved his.
They approved his
because we did things the right way.
Yeah. So
don't you know?
But that's what that shouldn't surprise anybody. What is interesting, though, what is unfolded during this process is a couple of things. One, this would have been done a long time ago had the NCAA not dragged their feet. And apparently, according to one of my lawyer friends earlier today, the Mars and Liston and those guys can use that against the NCAA, that they did not act in good faith. They acted in bad faith by delaying this. And also, I mean, if Mars is to be believed, they were told that they met the threshold to get a medical redshirt by the NCAA initially. And somebody told me earlier today that would know that it was indicated to Ole Miss that, yeah, you have enough, you're good. So even if you don't believe the attorney, somebody that would know told me earlier today that it was indicated to Ole Miss that, yeah, you've got enough now. Like, you have enough. This is just the process. And you can take that now to the injunction and say, hey, it was indicated by the NCAA that this player met the threshold and was good to go for next year. And so he did not prepare for the NFL. He didn't do any of the NFL process because you told him he was going to be good, and now you're telling him he can't play, and he missed the Senior Bowl, he missed all those things, damages. And that makes their case even stronger to a Mississippi judge in a Mississippi court than it would have been already. That the NCAA dragging their feet is going to make Thursday even more difficult for them to defend, apparently. Well, we'll see, but that is something that they have apparently done to themselves here. They weren't going to win it anyway. It doesn't seem.
I have never for 1 second thought they would.
Nothing's ever guaranteed in this life, so you shouldn't guarantee a win in court next week. You never know what's going to happen, really.
I'm guaranteeing it, Borky.
But
Borky,
apparently
it's
that is also going to be an easy something that you can point to. Hey, you told him that he was good to go. He didn't go to the Senior Bowl, and the Senior Bowl clearly changes draft status. Damages. Bang. And so that's part of it, too. But there's a lot to digest. We'll read some of your messages as well on the C Spire text line, 601-879-4395. We'll be back.
What we're going to do right here is go back.
And now back to the sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
So let's get rolling
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. As you can imagine, a pretty mixed bag on the text line about this story.
I feel like that's one of those things that they say, splits down party lines.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, look, apparently there's a couple of Ole Miss fans that didn't like what I said yesterday. The fact that I don't like the fact that local judges are deciding who gets to play and who doesn't. That is a bad system. Yeah. This system, what if you want to call it a system, is not good. Well, this is not good that this is the system.
Let's just put it like this. Let's say for whatever reason that the law school in this state was based at Mississippi State instead of Ole Miss, and the majority of judges in this state were Mississippi State alums and not Ole Miss alums.
And then the judge denied,
and the judge just denies it because, and you know, for whatever legal reason he comes up with. But in reality, it's just I'm a state guy and I don't want Ole Miss to have their quarterback. How do you feel about it then? Well, you know that is something that could happen. That is not what we want.
No.
We want the NCAA to have a blanket rule. You're allowed to be eligible for this long.
That they can actually enforce anyway.
Either an age limit or just a year limit, right? I was thinking about, you know, we've had people say there needs to be an age limit, and I agree with that. But what if somebody goes into the military?
Yeah.
And then after they get out,
it's got to be years.
They're 21, and they decide they want to go to college and play sports. And then, you know, I get that they'd be 26 and be a man. And gosh, they'd have military training. They'd be a full-grown man at that point. But you shouldn't take that away from them. It should just be years, right? You have a 5-year clock. It starts the day you enroll, and after the end of 5 years, it's over. You cannot have any more eligibility no matter what.
And you've got to take the necessary steps to be able to enforce that, which they are unwilling to do as of this moment. And where the NCAA really screws up is granting waivers. Yeah. That's where they screw up, because another thing that they'll be able to point to next week is, now, hold on a second. You granted that player a waiver, and he had the same documentation as this player. Mm-hmm. And that player got denied. Why? And so you have these arbitrary decisions that are inconsistent relative to what their policies are. And so that's something that also a judge, even an impartial judge, will look at, and it's hard to defend the NCAA's waiver process because it's arbitrary and it's done not in secret, but it's done in ways that are not legally defensible.
Right.
So once they started granting waivers, it's got to be an all or nothing. Like you're saying, it's got to be an all or nothing. If If you're going to start granting this player a waiver, then they all have to get them, or else you're going to go to court and lose. And that's what's going to happen seemingly next week. Can't the NCAA just take it to the Mississippi Supreme Court? I mean, they can certainly try. The goal for Ole Miss is not necessarily to win this, by the way.
Right. It's just to
delay it until next January.
Keep it, if they decide on January 8th of 2027, he wasn't eligible after all. I mean, what are they going to do at that point?
Yeah.
Vacate the wins? I don't know. Who cares about that?
Somebody says this transfer portal crap is a mess anyway. The court seems like they have more pressing things to do instead of trying to decide whether somebody that should be out of college football to go on with life and get another year of eligibility. The courts have more hardcore stuff to do. They do, but here's the thing, though. You're talking about $5 million at stake for this individual. I've seen a lot of that. Same thing with Aguilar. Oh, they just need to move on. Well, think about it from their perspective. Trinidad Chambliss is going to get a 1,000% raise. That's not hyperbole. That's not exaggeration. He made $500K last year for Ole Miss before endorsements. His contract for this coming season will be $5 million. That is a 1,000% raise. If you, individual person out there, were offered a 1,000% raise and you were told, you don't have to commit a crime, you don't have to do anything, you just have to go to a judge and get a ruling and you can accept that 1,000% raise, you wouldn't do that? I mean, think about it from the player perspective. You wouldn't do that if you were given a 1,000% raise, before endorsements, by the way. You wouldn't go do that? You wouldn't go to a judge and say, hey, judge, help me out, please. I would love this. Because his NFL draft status, guys, is not as high as you would think it would be. It's not. Right. I have talked to multiple agents about this. The feedback that he has gotten and the talk about him around the NFL is he really needs to play another year before we would pick him that high. At absolute best, if he got lucky, he would be end of the second round, but nobody thinks that's where he would end up in the NFL. Forget your random Twitter account's draft board that has him number 2. That's not reality. What reality is what the NFL actually thinks about him, and he would not go in the first or second round. There's millions of dollars on the line for the player. So, yeah, that is something legally that I would fight if I stood to make millions of dollars.
Yeah,
I would fight it.
Yeah, it's not so much as it's just divided on party lines. There's no rhyme or reason, and if everything was reversed, everybody would feel the opposite. There's no question in my mind.
Oh, if Blake Shapen was due to make $5 million, I would argue on his behalf too.
Yeah, Shapen's is not a good example because Mississippi State fans would like for him to wanted him to move on. But somebody asked on the text line about Dak Prescott. If we could go back in time and Dak could have gotten another year, would I be in favor of that, or is this just something that only Ole Miss fans want? Are you kidding? In 2016, if I could have had Dak Prescott back, I'm absolutely taking Dak Prescott back as long as I could keep him. And that's the way it is. Mississippi State has a couple of players who maybe could have fought for an extra year. I think Brennan Thompson could have fought for another year if he really wanted one. I think Jerron Manning could probably fight for another year if he really wanted one, but they're deciding to move on.
Somebody says it's a 90% raise. No, it's not. It's a 100%. So if you're making $100,000 and you got your boss offered you a salary of $200,000, that is a 100% raise. That means you got the entirety of your salary. Essentially, it doubles your salary. That's how that math works. A 90% raise of $500K would be what? $950,000, right? If you got a 90% raise. Mm-hmm. Not a math guy, but I think that's accurate.
Yeah. So going
10 times more money is what he's being offered.
I asked ChatGPT because I can't do simple math. If I went from $100,000 a year to $5 million a year, that's a 4,900% raise.
Yeah. That's what
GPT at the end says, if only bosses actually did this in real life.
Somebody says, it sounded like the NCAA only wants medical documentation at the time of the incident. Isn't that the problem here? Precisely. And that is when you're talking about why the NCAA is going to lose next week, is because their own rules, their standards for reporting, whether or not you think that he actually was sick or not is not the point here. It didn't matter.
I told GPT, thanks for that. It said, if your boss ever does offer that raise, I'll help you negotiate the contract. It's like, me and GPT, we got a good relationship. I'm telling you, when Skynet happens, I'm going to be okay.
As we've told you before, the reporting threshold or standards for Division II for a medical red shirt are different than that of the FBS. They are different standards. And Ferris State's coach at the time and a physician have both said, yes, like that was a factor. He did not dress in a single game. And it doesn't matter if he showed up to practice or not, by the way. People keep saying, well, he was at practice. That is not part of the NCAA's medical redshirt standard. A guy with 2 torn ACLs and just got his arm amputated couldn't still go to practice. That doesn't mean he's playing in the game. So that's not part of it either. Whether or not you think he actually was sick enough, you have a physician that said he was, coach that said he was on record, and the NCAA's reporting standard for Division II is different than the FBS. So that is also going to contribute to them fighting an uphill battle next Thursday. Is those standards are different, and in the denial, they say that they are holding him to the Division I standard when he didn't play Division I football at the time. It's annoying, right? But that is another very likely reason why he's going to get to play in 26. That's what they're going to argue for. On top of the fact that the NCAA intimated, as I am told multiple times, you have enough. And then suddenly they did not have enough. Weird deal. We'll keep on this a little bit more, however long the text line is still hopping anyway. And we're glad you guys are with us. This is college football in 2026, guys. This is what it is, unfortunately. We will talk baseball coming up here a little bit later as well. And again, we are very glad that you guys are with us. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio. Stick around.
From this
communication system is a go.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Exactly.
Along the same lines of what we've just been talking about, Ross Dellinger has obtained an affidavit that he filed or sent to the Circuit Court of Tuscaloosa County, Alabama. Greg Sankey, the commissioner of the SEC, of which Alabama is a member,
They are a member.
is arguing in court against Alabama's own player. Greg Sankey filed an affidavit in Tuscaloosa asking the court to not let Alabama's player play. Here is a line from the story. I'm not going to read the entire thing to you, but he lists out the eligibility standards. But here's the money one. This is what he's arguing against. He says, quote, to maintain eligibility to participate in college athletics, NCAA bylaw 1224 provides that a student athlete shall not enter into any kind of agreement to compete in professional athletics, either orally or in writing, regardless of legal enforceability of that agreement. Good luck. This rule, too, is grounded in the principle that college athletics are reserved for current college athletes who are actively pursuing a degree while also participating in sports, and for future college athletes who seek to benefit from the unique educational blah, 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 blah. he's right. He's right in principle that college sports should not have former pros who have signed multiple pro contracts come back to college sports.
Yes.
But the commissioner of the SEC is arguing in court against a member of the SEC. That is mind-blowing to me.
But, we say this a lot, like, it's better just to be on the side of right here. This is the side of right.
He's right. He is right. I just cannot believe that the league office is actively working against
if I'm
Alabama.
Greg Byrne, I'm looking at this going, all right, maybe we got to just be like, yeah.
Or, because you know what Greg Byrne's donors are going to say.
Fight it?
Oh, you fight this to the end now. Okay. Oh, the league office is doing what? I promise you. You know how this works, Dad.
Okay, that's no problem.
But
I'm sure we're going to talk about it later, but we'll be happy to cancel that $72 million check we sent you today.
Oh, but then that opens up a whole other can of worms, too, that they can't go down. But,
yeah.
I mean, you know what every Alabama fan and donor is going to think when they read that today. The league is out to get us. Is that fair? Probably not. Not probably not. That's not fair. Because out of principle, he's right. A guy that signed 3 contracts with NBA teams has no business playing college sports. That's kind of where you draw the line. Not kind of. That's where you should draw the line. But hey, Dad, what do you think the reaction would be among state fans right now if
it's different. State fans would be like, of course the conference is going against us. They always have. Alabama fans were like, wait a minute. This isn't how this is supposed to go. These are our guys. We got them in our back pocket. It's the first time in their life the SEC has done something against them.
That doesn't end the conspiracies. That does throw a little cold water on the the league is only here to help Alabama win. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that he did that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that you handle privately, right?
Well, I mean,
that you go to Greg Byrne and say, Greg, stop this.
At some point, maybe he did, and Greg was like, I will not, and Sankey was like, well, I got to do what I got to do then, you know?
Okay, here's my question, though.
Yeah.
Charles Bediako is not the only former pro to play basketball in the SEC. Now, he is the first former pro to leave an SEC team and sign with NBA teams and then come back.
Right.
But there are former Euro pros, all over the SEC right now.
There is a difference in that.
There is a difference, but they did enter pro contracts.
The difference is very similar. Very simple. Those players were never in college before.
No, but they were
still
still pros.
Difference. Once you leave the college ranks to go pro, it's different. And I understand you're going to say, well, it's not. It is. It is. And if you want to play devil's advocate, that's fine. But you know you're wrong as much as I do. So
it is different, but it is still a former pro.
Those guys haven't even been to college yet. They play in professional academies over there in Europe. It's different.
What was the young man that got drafted out of Jackson to the Pirates?
Connor Griffin.
Should he get to play at Mississippi State?
No.
But why does a former Euro pro get to play at Mississippi State or Ole Miss or wherever?
Because it's different.
But why?
I mean, I can't explain why. It's like pornography. I can't explain it. I just know what it is when I see it.
Because the Europeans don't have a college system the way we do here.
Right.
That's the argument, is they don't have college basketball in Europe. It's that you got to go pro, basically, if you're good enough, because that's the next step in your progression. But still.
They don't play college basketball like that.
But you have already opened up the former pro threshold.
You have, but it's still different. And then somebody else, can LeBron James go back? I mean, technically, I guess so. I'm telling you right now, if he retired at the end of the year and I'm Ohio State, I would absolutely be like, we will guarantee tuition for every member of your family for the rest of your for the rest of time if you play a season with us. And they would win the national title.
I still can't believe that Greg Sankey argued against Alabama in court.
Yeah, and this. That's wild. Andy from Pontotoc, same thing that we're dealing with here in Mississippi with Trinidad Chambliss. If Auburn was doing that, Alabama folks would drive the commissioner to the courthouse. It's exactly correct. This is the most partisan thing. Look,
but honestly, I mean,
Richard Cross in the morning has got nothing on partisan politics when we talk about college football and college basketball. It's far more divided.
I mean, I know state fans are universally against this happening and all that, but I think it's funny. In my observation, it's LSU fans that are a lot more pressed about the Trinidad situation than even state fans are. Well, it is insane.
I think it comes down to state fans have resigned themselves, like he's going to be eligible. The LSU fans, who are not a fan base that's used to not getting their way, believe that they're going to get their way. They're not, though. They also, I think, I'm sure publicly, Kiffin is very much in supporting into Trinidad, but privately he's probably like, I want him out.
Oh, 100%.
Because it makes that game easier next year.
100%.
So that's what his fan base is smart enough to pick up on.
Yeah, nobody wants to play Trinidad this year.
Yeah.
Nobody, quote unquote, wants to. You would rather play the guy that has one start against Mercer,
correct,
than the guy that took Ole Miss to the semifinal.
Yes.
I mean, that's how it is. Can we get some pro-Japanese pitchers to Ole Miss, please? I mean, why not?
At Penn State.
There's one at Penn State. But somebody's on the text line said there's a hockey player also at Penn State. I'm not familiar with that story.
I can't help you with that one. Don't know enough about college hockey.
Big Ten hockey is a deal, though. Mm. It is kind of a big deal. So yeah. So could the SEC commissioner write a letter to the court opposing Trinidad also? He could. But the thing that he is citing with Bediako is he signed pro contracts. Trinidad Chambliss has not signed a pro contract.
Right. Also, scrolling up a little bit on that guy's that very same texter, the judge in question for the Ole Miss for the Trinidad case, undergrad is at Delta State.
And he was, was he an All-American at Northwest when he played football there?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he played junior college football there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so whatever Ballotpedia is, earned a bachelor's degree from Delta State, received his JD from the University of Mississippi in 1972, according to this website. So there you go. I mean, we'll take their word for it. I don't know if this is. Wikipedia got me through college. So if the judge version of Wikipedia,
I had Encyclopedia. I had the Encyclopedia Britannica. I actually had to find it and read it. Like you kids today.
Chase says, Ole Miss or not, I want him to lose, parentheses, he won't, because I'm just tired of lawyers and politicians doing the arbitrary hula hoop on getting kids to play 6-7 seasons. We've landed so far in banana land at the point the only way we have college sports is because what the helmets say and where the stadiums sit. Yeah.
He's definitely correct on that.
It's a 100% agreeable sentiment.
Yeah.
Chris Lowe, he actually responded to me. He wrote or shared an article anyway from Dan Wetzel, and it was mostly a column really about where does this end? Where does this end? And it ends when the power conference commissioners decide to actually lead and end it. That's when this ends. Mm-hmm. Don't blame players for trying to capitalize. You would too. You do all the time. I certainly would try to get 1,000% raise. Blame the aforementioned Greg Sankey, Tony Petitti. I forget Jim Phillips at the ACC. Blame them. They are the ones that are choosing not to lead and do what needs to be done, and instead resigning the responsibility to the incompetent, at best, corrupt at worst, United States Congress. That's whose fault all of this is. We'll be back.
Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Do you ever get so excited that you just can't wait?
Yes! Sports Talk Mississippi, covering your Mississippi teams.
I've been waiting my whole life for this.
Don't touch that dial!
Here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Is it 5 o'clock? What's going on here? I can live with this. Sports Talk Mississippi. What?
I don't get the 5 o'clock reference.
So when you're not here and Will East is running the board, this is his start the 5 o'clock hour song. Huh. Always starts with Welcome to the Jungle.
I'm surprised with how little days I take off. There's the opportunity for a tradition in that regard.
There are some tradition. That and you're going to hear the cult. You just know those two things are going to happen. Sports Talk Mississippi is brought to you in part by AgriGold. AgriGold believes progress in the field starts with seed and the people who plant it. That's why AgriGold focuses 100% on seed, delivering trusted genetics and solutions to help you get more out of every acre. Contact Kerry Baker at 662-836-7417. He's your local AgriGold representative to learn more. Or you can visit agrigold.com to explore seed solutions and agronomy resources. Plant your legacy today with AgriGold.
Ole Miss did respond, by the way. It's a pretty strongly worded statement.
They sent out a strongly worded email.
But what's going to be more strongly worded is what happens next Thursday in a courthouse. But I mean, they have his physician and they have his coach both saying on record in a filing that's why. That's going to be hard to fight against if you were the NCAA. But, I mean, is Greg Sankey going to go against Aguilar too? Is he going to file against Chambliss? I mean, how many more of these fights is the commissioner of the SEC going to argue against his own member institutions for? How many more?
I don't know.
That's a unique case, right? Bediako's a one of one, a very unique case. Doesn't that make you wonder about other things, though, Hayden? About what the league office is doing behind the scenes? If they are publicly arguing against Alabama, what is happening privately? I mean, you've got the Dabo tampering accusations. Mm-hmm. Did the league office go to bat for a league member, or are they holding Dabo's hand as he skips along the way past another 6-6 season?
I don't know.
What's that about? Or I don't know. I mean, that is fascinating to me. Again, he's right on principle. He's right. He is absolutely right.
I mean,
but his job is to protect his member institutions.
But isn't this what we should want from all of our leaders? Is to take the path of right and not the path of who does this benefit? Like,
yes.
I mean, isn't that what we should want from everybody who's in a position of power?
Yes. But his job is
I get that.
Is to protect his 16-member institutions
but I think
them
maybe
only.
Maybe it's the bigger picture.
The bigger picture is you sit down with the other ones and then do something.
The bigger picture is if you do this, it puts college athletics on a path that's complete. We're almost to the point where it's untenable as it is. That might be the breaking point. You got maybe he just sees it as that and is like, I hate it for you, I really do, but I got to get out in front of this. Got to be on the right side of history.
Yeah. It's still hard to believe that it happened. It's still hard to believe that it happened.
No doubt, but,
I mean, that'd be like Roger Goodell defending the owners in the Major League Baseball lockout that's coming soon. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know, man. Wow. He is right. I do disagree with you a little bit on the Euro-Pro thing, though. Mm-hmm. You've already allowed pros into your league.
I just disagree. I think it's just straight up.
Your players are pros.
The difference is a player being in college and leaving college is the pro. It's not it's not the pro thing. Don't look at it as the pro thing. It's they were in college and they left college to go play pro basketball. It's one thing if you just went straight to pro. If you want to make the comment about Connor Griffin, I could almost get behind that if like, let's just say after 2 years they realize, you're a good baseball player, but you're never going to be a major leaguer.
Happens all the time.
Wants to go back to college at that point, okay, maybe I can get behind that a little bit. I maybe.
What's the difference between that and Bediako?
Bediako played in college, left college, played with pro teams, and now wants to come back. That, to me, is different. He already played in college. No, once you just say, I'm leaving college for professional sports, you're done.
So I maybe it's the golf fan in me. I think once you declare pro, that's it.
Yeah.
Regardless of when. They call it turn pro in golf. Once you turn pro, you are a pro. And you cannot go back. You can't be an amateur anymore. Once you go pro, you're pro. Regardless of when, if you go to college or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. Very interesting. I cannot imagine what the Alabama message boards look like right now. Could you imagine being an Alabama message board operator today?
I mean, you're making good money today.
You don't even bother trying to moderate.
It's like, just let them rip.
You guys get 36 hours of saying whatever you want, and then I'll come back in and start deleting posts. Okay. It's more sports talk after the news.
I listen to it at work.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Did you get that memo?
Yes, sir.
I remember when this song debuted on MTV, just to show you how old I am. And I had no knowledge of the Grateful Dead before this song. And so I'm like watching this video, I'm like, why are they making such a big deal about these old guys doing this song? Like, what's the big deal? I don't get it. And, there's no internet. I can't just Google Grateful Dead at that point. So it took a little while for me to realize, oh, wait, the Grateful Dead is this massive band. But I did not know that the first time I saw the Grateful Dead's video for Touch of Grey. I was just like, I like this song, but who the hell are these guys? Sports Talk Mississippi. Just a little anecdote there. My buddy Craig Carter's listening. He's probably just like, he's punching air right this second. Own the John Deere compact tractor you've always wanted now with 0% financing at Ag Up. When you're trading in, upgrading your land, or a new landowner needing equipment, your down home team will get you the right machine at the right price. Now with 0% financing on all 1 through 4 series machines, stop by your local Ag Up or visit them at agup.com. Your down home dealer. Down home. I went deep on that one. Disclaimer.
Nailed it.
Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for detail. What's up on Sports Talk Mississippi? In about 13 minutes, Dima Mixon from the Eagle Hour and Pine Belt Sports will join us. Let's talk a little Southern Miss baseball. But right now, I believe we're about to dive into the preseason predictions for the SEC.
Yes, we are. And I don't know if we should extend this multiple segments and just kind of have to let Dima go in between. But either way, well, we got this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We got this from the SEC earlier today, your predicted order of finish via the coaches and also the first and second team all SEC. All right, coaches poll, should we go from 16 to 1 or 1 to 16?
Oh, we start at the bottom, yeah.
16 to 1. Missouri, the last place team, predicted last place team in the SEC. South Carolina, number 15. Once a proud program. What a shame to see.
I mean, they've had, on top of the fact that I don't think they're super talented, and I don't know how good a coach Maneri is anymore. They've had some big injury issues this offseason. So,
number 14. Here's a great demonstration of how good this league is. Oklahoma is number 14. If that team made it to Omaha, you would not be surprised.
They're preseason ranked in some polls. Huge gap in the points, which obviously you get more for however you're voted. Huge gap between 14 and 15. Oklahoma with 84 points at 14 and South Carolina with 49 points.
Yeah.
Basically, from what you can tell here is that my guess is almost everybody had them second to last.
The coaches expect there to be 14 good teams in the league.
Yeah.
That's what they expect.
Very little gap between 14 and there's not much gap between 14 and 11. There's not a huge gap between 10 and 11. Between 9 and 10, there's a small gap, but it's not that big.
No. Texas A&M picked to finish 13th. Alabama 12th.
Preseason number one, unanimous number one last year. Now picked 13th in the SEC.
Alabama 12, Kentucky 11, Ole Miss at 10, 110 votes. Kentucky had 99, by the way. Georgia 133. So Ole Miss pretty firmly planted there.
They're in 10.
At 10.
10th in the SEC is probably good to be a 2 seed in someone's regional, and you're probably in the hosting discussion up until the final weekend.
Yeah, you're in the conversation.
If that holds.
If you finish at 10th, you're a 2 seed somewhere.
Yeah, probably so.
And a 2 seed that whoever gets you is furious.
Yeah, that's absolutely. That's one of those Memorial Day, they released the brackets, and, North Carolina State. Oh, North Carolina State gets Ole Miss. Oh, the Wolfpack can't be happy about that. So, exactly.
And, because the NCAA lacks creativity in selections where they would send Ole Miss as the 10th ranked team in the SEC.
Southern Mississippi.
They'd send them to Hattiesburg because Southern Miss is probably going to host. And
if Southern Miss hosts, you can almost guarantee if Ole Miss is 10th in the SEC, they're headed to Hattiesburg.
Headed to Hattiesburg. Number 9, Georgia. 8, Vanderbilt.
By the way, number 9, Georgia. Number, 5 in one of the preseason polls?
Yep.
Good God.
8, Vanderbilt. 7, Florida. 6, Tennessee. Feels high. I know they're super talented.
Super talented, but we don't know what they're going to be. Look, it's kind of an interesting case study, right? They're picked 6th in the SEC without their head coach. What's Ole Miss going to be picked in football? Not 6th.
No, not 6th.
Even with Chambliss and Lacey back, not 6th.
No, in part, I guess, because you did see them without Lane.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Vitello would have left in May,
and you could have seen a few games,
and they go to Omaha, then you're like, oh, well, shoot, they really have something there.
There you go.
Auburn 5,
mm-hmm.
Arkansas 4, with only 2 first-place votes for the Razorbacks.
Yep.
Mississippi State 3, with 4 first-place votes. Appropriate, fair, foul.
Yeah, I'm interested. I would love to know who the 4 coaches who voted for him first are. And one of them's not O'Connor because you can't vote for your own team.
Yeah, who would that be?
You made me guess. Butch Thompson. I bet Jay Johnson picked Texas. Texas got 1 vote. He probably just went with them. So Schlossnagel might have gone with State. I could see A&M's coach going with State. And then maybe Wes Johnson.
Or maybe Maneri because they're playing him.
Maneri could have done it, yeah.
Texas is 2, but only 1 first-place vote. So State more first-place votes, but Texas with more points.
Would almost guarantee that's who Jay Johnson voted for.
And then LSU, number 1, 9 first-place votes.
So not a huge gap between State at 3. Well, even I'll say Arkansas at 4 and LSU at 1. Not a huge gap. It's a gap of a total of 28 points. So, 1 more first-place vote for State, they probably would have been second.
The first team, preseason first team all SEC. I know how this works because there's an even number of coaches and there are only so many votes to go around. Mm-hmm. First team has 2 second basemen, 2 shortstops.
Yes. You're not getting anything up the middle on that team.
No. I'll skip all of the players. Ace Reese, though, first team preseason all SEC by himself at third base.
Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't want to give him any help, I guess.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Noah Sullivan, the first team all SEC DH/utility man.
Huge piece for State coming back that not a ton of people are talking about.
Starting pitcher, Hunter Elliott from Ole Miss. No surprise there. And that is it for Ole Miss and State players on the first team. Little surprise there. Little surprise.
Who else would you have had?
That's a good question. There's just so much. Here's where it gets worse, to be honest with you, hey, Dad.
Nobody on the second team.
There is one player from Mississippi on the second team, and it's Will Furness at first base.
Yeah,
tied with Levi Clark from Tennessee.
For State, almost everybody else is new, right? Like Sullivan and Bryce Chance is coming back, but Bryce Chance isn't going to be an all-SEC outfielder. So for State, if if you want to project Aiden Teal there, you can, but that's a big projection for a guy who hasn't played in the SEC yet.
Utermark didn't find his way on there?
That said, Henry Ford got first team for Tennessee, who came from Virginia, but
he was from Virginia, or what was his electoral college?
That's a different. He does have a very colonial sounding name, Henry Ford. Yeah. Also sounds like he may have invented the car, but yeah. But it's just I get why some of those other guys aren't on there. For Ole Miss, yeah, Utermark certainly not going to be first team over Rembert.
No, 2 second team third baseman. He's neither one. Yeah. He'll play third this year, by the way.
He's third this year. He's not. Yeah, then he's not going to be on Ace Reese. He's not going to be over Ace Reese. And Brendan Lawson's really good for Florida. So I mean, I get that. Then.
Yeah.
Plus, again, new position. So
he's played it all in the infield. By the way, they will have. So you heard from O'Connor. We will hear from Bianco on Tuesday. Is when he will do his media thing. Also, he does it every year. You actually get the lineup in rotation on Tuesday. He just gives it to you. Hey, here's who's going to play first, second, third, starting pitcher, catcher, outfield, etc. Like he just kind of lays that out for you.
Well, it's awfully nice of him.
It is awfully nice of him. And meanwhile, the spring football practice is locked down like the nuclear football is getting thrown around on the field instead of just a regular football. So
yeah, it's fine.
601-879-4395, the C-Spire text line, 601-879-4395.
I wish they had done a preseason, Coach of the Year, Player of the Year. Been interesting to see how many votes Ace Reese would have gotten for Player of the Year. I think if you made me pick, well, it's tough. It's tough to say who probably Curiel, and then for pitcher, probably Liam Peterson.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see those. I guess, D1 and Baseball America and those guys would do it. So,
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be right back.
In the Venable Glass.
Can you feel it? Can you hear it?
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Yeah!
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
We go to the Farm Bureau guest line for the first time today. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Hey, Dad, Dima told me what I called him, that he was watching the Phoenix Open. And so the golf tournament, right?
Just lower my picture down. You guys have it.
I
don't want to deal with that.
This will make you laugh. So player on 16, that's the stadium hole, right? Where everybody's drunk and rowdy and all that.
I know that.
Hit a chip fat, and that's like the most embarrassing thing that you can do in golf because the ball goes like 5 feet in front of you, and it just the whole crowd started chanting, "One of us, one of us, one of us." The guy was awesome. Nice. Dima Mixon, you can hear him on the Eagle Hour, also Pine Belt Sports, here to talk about Southern Miss baseball. And let's start with the ranking component. Southern Miss showing up in preseason top 25s. That is exactly where this team belongs, isn't it?
Yes, no doubt. And I would say fans around here kind of like, why haven't they done it the past couple of years? Southern Miss always seems to be snubbed out of the preseason rankings. Don't really understand the reasoning. They always find a way to put Troy in there or whatever, but Southern Miss did slide in there at number 20. Nice Sun Belt representation from Coastal as well, getting in the top 10. So, I think it's right where this program deserves. It's easily one of the top 25 baseball programs in the country, and I think they're starting to earn some national respect for that.
As you know, SuperTalk is also offers some political programming. Who should we lobby on behalf of the Sun Belt or on behalf of Southern Miss and Coastal Carolina to create a law against the two of them not playing each other again?
Yeah, I agree. It's silly, and I talked to Ostrander about that. And he's just like, man, it's frustrating, I don't know what to tell you. I don't understand why the Sun Belt would not play them. And you think about Coastal and Southern Miss, at least Southern Miss plays Troy. Like, Coastal doesn't even play Troy either. They miss Southern Miss and Troy. I would say they're the odds-on and probably convincing favorite to win the Sun Belt regular season title because they don't play the other two best teams in the league. So at least Southern Miss plays Troy. The fact that those two teams don't play is just ridiculous. I wrote my column this week just how I would fix it, and I don't, scheduling and stuff would probably be getting in the way. But what I would do is leave the last week of the regular season open, and your number one seed in the standings plays the 2 seed, and then the 3 seed play the 4 seed, and the 5 seed play the 6 seed. That way, that would be better for the conference overall in RPI sakes, obviously, and then could position some of those bubble teams to get into the tournament better for the Sun Belt tournament later in May. So.
Dima, if there's one thing we know about Southern Mississippi with Christian Ostrander is that the Friday night starter is going to be a guy that you can put out there week in and week out and expect the Golden Eagles to win. So who gets the first crack at replacing J.B. Middleton and Tanner Hall and joining that great lineage of pitchers? I didn't think it was that bad a question. He just hung up.
It was horrible.
It's the worst question I've ever asked, apparently.
Hello?
Oh, there he is. Dima. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you hear my question?
I heard you said who's going to be the next guy Friday night?
Yeah.
Okay. It's definitely going to be Colby Allen. That's, the reason he came back to Southern Miss was to be put in that weekend role. He's mainly a fastball slider type guy. He's been kind of riding those two pitches his entire career here. But Southern Miss got pitching coach Goddard-Leger over from Louisiana, and they really worked on getting Colby a changeup. And so now he has that changeup that's just filthy. I've seen it in scrimmages. It's just nasty. And he's going to be everything he wants to be this season, and 100% the Friday night guy for Southern Miss going forward. And I would say opening day is probably one of the better pitching matchups in the state between Colby Allen and Jackson Flora with UC Santa Barbara coming into Hattiesburg, which should be just a tremendous pitching matchup of All-Americans right there.
So flesh that out a little further. What does that opening weekend rotation look like for you, in your opinion?
Yeah, if I had to pencil it in right now, I would say Colby Allen on Friday, then Graydon Harris, who was, their Sunday guy last year. He was a freshman and, threw so well. And he was throwing basically 85% fastballs and shut down Columbia and NCAA Regional with all the stakes there. And, I don't remember his exact ERA, but, it was really low as Ostrander's groups always are. And so he's going to be the Saturday guy, I would assume. Or he could slide into Sunday because sometimes they like to put Sundays as your lefties. But I would assume he's the Saturday guy. And then the third starting role is kind of a mix between a couple of guys. If I had to pencil it in right now, it'd be McCarty English. He had surgery last season, so he didn't play last year. But he's back and feels much better. And he's looked really good in the scrimmages that I've been able to get out to.
What about from a newcomer perspective? Who's a guy that we don't know a lot about that you could see making a big impact, be it on the mound or in the field for the Golden Eagles?
Yeah, Southern Miss lost really the entire middle of the field. They lost their center fielder, they lost their second baseman, they lost their shortstop, and they replaced their second baseman and center fielder through the transfer portal. Caleb Stelly is going to come over from Louisiana, who is all-conference player last year, and he's going to, fill in that center field gap. And then Kyle Morrison from South Alabama, who was, just raking home run after home run with the Jaguars. He's going to fill in nicely at second base. So those two players are players that, if you follow Southern Miss, you're probably not familiar with seeing or hearing, but they're going to try to fill in the roles of losing Nick Monaster and Jay Cook, which, that's going to be huge shoes to fill. But and then at shortstop, new player there as well. So that's going to be more than likely Ty Long, and it's going to be really his first career start and first big role that Southern Miss has had. He played sparingly last season, but other than that, it's pretty much all systems go. They got a lot of returners, and I think this pitching staff might be one of the best pitching staffs that Ostrander's ever had at Southern Miss. So I think he's really bullish on this pitching staff and these freshman arms he has.
What can you tell us about this non-conference schedule? I mean, just on the surface, from the outside looking in, looks like yet again, whether it be Scott Berry or Christian Ostrander, this program's not afraid to schedule.
No. I mean, I think they understand that, you have to schedule that way to be in a conversation to host regionals at the end of the season. And, like you said, they start off the season with UC Santa Barbara at home, which is a really good baseball team and a really good program out there in California. Then they go to the Round Rock Classic and play like Oregon State and Baylor and Purdue and all those teams. And then, of course, they'd have a home and home with Mississippi State, who's ranked in the top 5 and who should be a lot better than years past. And then, they'll always play Ole Miss each season. They have a date with Alabama coming up. I mean, they have a ridiculous first 12 games. And, they wouldn't want it any other way. And I feel like they think that they don't think that those teams are necessarily any better than them, right? I think they think that those teams look at Southern Miss and say, listen, that's not going to be just a game we can walk in and win. Like they're going to have to earn it, because Southern Miss is, I think, just as good as any team that's on the schedule. I don't even think it's a question.
Yeah, I was just talking about that the other day, that Mississippi State plays the number 1 team in the nation, UCLA, on a Sunday, and then on Tuesday they're in Hattiesburg to take on Southern Miss. I mean, that is a difficult task to come back from right there. What's the biggest question mark about this Golden Eagle team for you, Dima? Where are you concerned?
I'm actually really concerned about the middle of the infield, as I said, that they're replacing. That hasn't looked the best in scrimmaging. Now, I don't know how much that's going to hurt them as far as, whether that's going to hold off, what they want to accomplish. But that's the only thing that concerns me a little bit is, the surefire of center field that they had last season, the surefire at shortstop, the surefire at second base. Not having all 3 of those is kind of might potentially be a big deal early. I think those players will settle into their roles, later in the season, but potentially early they might have some growing pains there, but potentially not. I do think, and I'm serious when I say this, I do think this is the best team that Christian Ostrander has had as head coach. So they're looking to finally break down that door and get back to the World Series, and I think he has a team capable of doing it. Whether or not they will do it or not remains to be seen. They've gotten so close the past several years, so you just think it has to fall down eventually.
We shall see coming up next week. It's hard to believe this Demon, but this time next week we'll be a couple innings into games in Hattiesburg, in Starkville, and in Oxford. Opening day is just about upon us. Looking forward to another great season of Golden Eagle baseball. Dima, Mixon, SuperTalk Eagle Hour, and Pine Belt Sports, man. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you all.
As always, guests join the show on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. The best team that Christian Ostrander has had in Southern Mississippi. He's coached, 2 teams that have been to Super Regionals, I believe. Is that correct? Is it 3?
That is high expectations, but you don't coach at Southern Miss if you don't want those.
I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, and I say it all the time, the most consistent program, certainly in this state, but among the most consistent programs in the country, year in, year out. You can just pencil the Golden Eagles in for around 40 wins, and they're going to be in that hosting discussion. And this time next week, they got a real test, as he mentioned there, with UC Santa Barbara. So we'll talk about that more when we come back. Speaking of that, when we come back, Lee Sterling. Lee Marshall is a pro wrestling announcer. Just sort of
let's go.
Don't ask how he popped in my head. Lee Sterling will join us. Little Super Bowl prop bet talk, little over under, little who's going to win this one. We'll do that when we come back. It's Sports Talk Mississippi here with you on a Thursday.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
This is Sports Talk Mississippi, right here on Super Talk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Sports Talk Mississippi. You know him, you love him. He's on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. He's Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, ParamountSports.com. And Lee, we got to start with this one because, I mean, it's just something that our audience has asked for. I've had a couple of texts from friends asking for it. You have you have some help with the national anthem prop bet over under length of time because somebody that I know you're awfully proud of, by the way, is an expert in the field. So tell us more about the national anthem.
Yeah, so my daughter right now she's the understudy for the lead in a pre-Broadway show brought over from London called Glory Ride. And but she found some time and she feels strongly about this one. Now, remember the last 2 years ago, Reba McEntire sang the last line again twice, and it caused it to go over. My daughter technically lost it. Most of the sports books paid off either way as a goodwill gesture. Last year, she won it with an under by 1 second. So she's technically either 10-1 or 10-0-1. So she likes this one a lot this year. It's Charlie Puth, and he's never sang the national anthem. But he came on a interview with Ryan Seacrest 2 weeks ago, and he revealed that he's going to be singing it with a choir and an orchestra. And he thinks he's come up with something. So we're going to go over. My daughter likes the over 1 minute and 59 and a half seconds, and she likes it by a lot. She thinks it's going to go 2:10, 2:15.
There you go. The whole orchestra thing, I'm looking forward to that. So obviously fun, exciting game. And there's a lot of emphasis now on player props, especially in a game like this where there's a lot of novelty betting, right? People that do it just for the heck of it, for fun, to keep them engaged. That there's a ton out there. Which ones do you like?
So a couple that I like, I never really play the first touchdown. It's too random. But I like Kenneth Walker III, the running back for Seattle, anytime touchdown. Some receivers that I'm looking at. Cooper Kupp for Seattle, really good at reading zone defenses, and they've been using him a lot more. I like him in over 2.5 receptions. And then the other side for New England, Mac Hollins. He's a long strider. You're not going to see him running flanker screens. He's 6'4", 220. They will use him throwing the ball down the field. I like Mac Hollins over 15.5 yards, longest reception. And I like Stephon Diggs under 4.5 receptions. He's had 5 and 4 the last 2 games, but I think he's lost a step. And also he's going to face a lot of man-to-man coverage. So we'll go under Stephon Diggs, under 4.5 receptions.
Do you ever dive into the Gatorade color or anything like that? That's not, you don't even drop $5 on it just to kind of see what happens?
I think I put $10 on it 3 or 4 times and I won once. It's just too random. I'd rather use my math skills and watching games for something like that. I think I did the coin toss once and won, and I'm like, I'm done.
One and done, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like roulette. I mean, you put it on red, and if you hit red, then I'm good. Walk away forever.
That's it.
On the game itself, before we get any picks about the game, what do you see in this matchup? It's a fascinating football game. Patriots have a schedule that leaves a lot to be desired, but who cares? They made the Super Bowl, and then you've got the Darnold storyline and redemption. Is Drake May hurt? There's a lot going into this one.
Yeah. Yeah, what you have is you have 2 really well-coached teams, I see, and both teams were not expected to be here. Probably here a year too soon, at least in both cases. New England turns around in 1 year, and Seattle does it in 2. I mean, a brand new coach in both fashions in 1 and 2 years. Usually you got to pay your dues. So in that respect, I think it's going to be interesting. I think the difference might come down to a couple things. Drake May's been throwing interceptions of late, 8 in the last 13 games. I think he's got a bum shoulder, and he's playing with it. They can't sit him, or else he'd be in trouble. But that and Ramondre Stevenson might be due for a fumble. He was fumbling early in the season, and the Legion of Boom, too, likes to try to strip the ball. So I think that might be the difference, and maybe Seattle's just a little bit a year ahead of New England. I like their defense also, and not take nothing away from New England. They're very good also. Both have really good cover corners. Both teams don't miss many tackles. But remember also that Seattle didn't have to travel as far, and they play on this field once a year. I like Seattle. I think they win and cover 27-16. And there is a stat that's going against me, but I think it's due to maybe swing around a little. Teams have favored by more than 4 points, 0-7 last 7 times, winning and or covering the game. So I think it's due to break. The last team that was favored by 4 points that won and covered was Indianapolis with Peyton Manning all the way back. I think it was like 2007 against the Chicago Bears. But I like Seattle 27-16.
No, you got to get out of here. But before you go, if the people listening want more, I know you got a ton around the Super Bowl, but there's a lot more that you do as well at Paramount Sports.
Yeah, top 15 prop plays. Use coupon code SAVE50, just $97. We've won 9 of the last 10 years on them. We used to have put out 10 this year, first year ever, because there's 584 of them, and I think I found some weaknesses. We're going to put out 15, just $97. UFC card, just $35. We've won 23 of the last 29 cards in the UFC. And if people like what I'm doing, we're not going to reconvene until the Tuesday before March Madness, but they can check me out. Just go type in, do a daily podcast on the Locked On Network called Locked On Bets. 3 words, Locked On Bets. Go to YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Check me out every day. Comes out by 9 o'clock your time. We release the podcast, 15 minutes in length, 3 to 4 selections, Locked On Bets. And also, like I said, check out the website, ParamountSports.com.
Lee, you're the best. Appreciate your time. No, you got to get out of here, but really thankful and good luck this weekend.
Okay. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Lee, as always, joins us on the Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team.
I may have placed a wager on this, on some player props myself this weekend.
Good. Enjoy yourself.
See how that goes. I was mad they wouldn't allow it. So I obviously have a friend who's out of state, and they would not allow me to parlay 2 player props with a Super Bowl MVP bet, which made me mad.
Oh.
So I placed 2 separate bets. But I'm going with my my guy, JSN, Jackson Smith Injected, was my fantasy MVP. I got him on Super Bowl MVP, and then I parlayed 5 or more catches and anytime touchdown.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
I wanted to do all 3.
Yeah.
Because I figure if he does all 3, 5 or more catches, touchdown, he's probably going to be the MVP. But they wouldn't let me. So hopefully get a little cash, though.
Farm Bureau guest line. Check out favorites.com and go with the home team. I am still, I can't get out of my head the reality that we are sitting in, where the commissioner of the SEC argued in court on behalf
You're
of
still
the
thinking about this. What are we doing here?
But here's the thing about that. Because if he wants to play the morality game, that's great. Except for the fact that, are the other conference commissioners doing that right now? You're siding with the NCAA in a time in
nobody
which nobody else is. And so are you here? What's your job?
Nobody else has a team doing what Alabama's doing right now.
Well, the Big 12 does now, because the dude that actually played in the NBA has committed to BYU.
Well, Sankey's
or is going to try to play at BYU.
Yeah, Sankey's just trying to get ahead of this. I mean, I think we all know this is going to end up with they're going to say no, right? This feels like one the NCAA can win. So get on the right side.
Or are we sure it's still in the Tuscaloosa County Court, though? Is the NCAA going to win that one, too?
I don't know.
It's a lot more complicated than the one happening next week, but
yeah,
in a time, I mean, because his job is not to save college sports. Now, I think he should try, but if you're Keith Carter and Zach Selman, if you're all of the other ADs, Chris Del Conte, all of them, John Cohen, getting people to sign baseballs for money instead of helping his football team. I mean, his constituents are only the 16-member schools. Is this helping your league, or is this helping the NCAA, who is actively fighting against your league? That is.
But here's the problem with what you say, and I've said this a lot. The league is the NCAA. The schools are the NCAA.
But his 16 schools are his 16 schools,
I get
not
that.
the 350.
He knows it's just smart business to
is
be
it?
on the right side. I think it is.
Is it smart business to defend
Yes, to defend the correct behavior. Yes, it is absolutely smart business. Get ahead of this.
I'd be surprised if
you don't want to let this guy
and
play,
coaches
and then we come up in the NCAA tournament, and then that's when they decide it's no good. Get it over with now.
I'd be surprised.
You don't want to deal with this in March.
I'd be surprised if the coaches in his league see it the same way you do.
Wow. I'm right.
Morally.
Yes. Well, that's all.
But
that's all I care about in this situation.
Right. But is that
I'm not
his
making
job?
Any money?
Is his job to be morally correct or defend his member institutions?
It's every man's job to be morally correct.
It should be.
From the
Hey guys, what's happening? What the heck are you doing?
Sports Talk Mississippi on your radio and in the game. Sports Talk Mississippi.
Andy says, I know your morals were lacking when you hated on Chick-fil-A. I did no such thing. Never.
Did you not?
Ever. Never. I am a Chick-fil-A, red member? Whatever the highest rewards points member of Chick-fil-A is, I am that.
I believe that is a heaven member. That's the highest tier they have. During the break, Borky said, yeah, Stephen Pearl says that blah, blah, blah. Would you say that? And I'm looking on the text line like, I'm not seeing this. Who said that? Stephen Pearl. And that's when I realized he was saying Stephen Pearl, not Steve in Pearl.
You were so confused
why
it
mattered. I was looking at the text line. I'm refreshing. I'm like, I don't even know Stephen Pearl from the what did Steve in Pearl say? No, Stephen Pearl.
The coach of Auburn basketball.
The coach of Auburn, yes. I get it now. We're on the same page at this point.
Somebody says, throw some gloves on, guys, and go at it. No, see, that's the thing. One, it's a sports debate. And two, I agree. I agree with Greg Sankey. I agree with Haydad. I completely agree. Where I'm coming from is
a place of ill repute.
Of what his constituents think about what he's doing.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the other 15 teams in this league want Alabama to succeed with this?
I think the other 15 teams in the league would be concerned. What happens if he does this with my eligibility case?
I think.
Or what happens if he does this
I
with...
think Alabama's on an island of one. They're just out there by themselves.
This is pretty unique.
And everybody else in the conference is like, these guys suck. Get them out of here. We don't want this. And he might legitimately be representing 15 of the 16 athletic directors. And heck, even Greg Byrne might be like, look, I know this is wrong, but I got to support my coach. But you do what you got to do.
He's right. He's absolutely right. If I were an AD at another SEC school, I would wonder if something comes up that affects me, would my commissioner defend me? Because he's not defending Alabama, even though I think what Alabama's doing wrong. But would he defend me?
Is what you're doing ethical?
Is playing a former European pro ethical?
It is.
It's not as black and white as you make it.
It's a lot more black and white than what we're doing.
It's still gray.
It's less gray,
but it's still gray.
It's really dark gray.
What happens?
It's dark gray enough that from like a distance you like that guy's wearing a black shirt.
What if you're Missouri? And Dabo succeeds in trying to bring Ole Miss down?
Yeah.
And so Ole Miss decides, hey, Missouri, I've got all these receipts about Austin Simmons. You're coming down too. Would you have faith that the commissioner of the SEC would defend you?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That would be my question if I were them, is how much would he be willing to go against us moving forward?
I think
that would be my concern if I were them.
This is such a unique situation that he feels like he's got to do it. This is not going to become the norm. This is so poor from Alabama that they've put Sankey is probably so mad right now. He's like, I can't believe you idiots have put me in this situation.
He's put himself in a lot of situations too that, make sure your house is clean before you start pointing out how dirty somebody else's house is?
I mean, I agree with that, but nobody else's house is this dirty for this particular issue.
No, there's.
They got the dirtiest house.
This is very unique.
They're like one of those hoarders you see on AMC or whatever channel that show comes on. Not AMC, A&E. You know, you got somebody that's like living on a toilet. That's what this is.
Yeah, somebody asked, should they stop professional international players? My position on that is yes. But they have not done that to this point. But that is, I know it's different, it's complex, but if your stance is, and Sankey in his response kept talking about student athletes and getting a degree, and it's like, Greg, your conference is distributing over $1 billion for the year to your members. Stop talking about students and degrees, man. That makes me roll my eyes so hard. They're not your football players anyway, and your basketball players are not students anymore. So miss me with that. You can talk about your tennis team that way. But, yeah, you just distributed $1 billion. Stop talking about student athletes. That makes me roll my eyes so hard. That's how it should be. But my stance generally is, if that's the road you're going to go to, if that's how you want to make a stand, that players that have received professional contracts should not be allowed to play, well, you have those scattered around your league. And yes, this one is different because he did leave and then come back. Mm. But if your stance is players shouldn't be eligible if they have become professionals, you've waited too long to make that stance. Because this is inconsistent with that stance, despite it being different. It's just fascinating to me. It's just super fascinating. Your college football fix when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go to the junction, in the grove, and to the top.
Don't hurt yourself.
Sports Talk Mississippi on SuperTalk Mississippi.
Hour 3, Sports Talk Mississippi. Text line is right. How many games says Alabama won since this elite pro has returned? They're not even that good with them.
That's the sports gods stepping in here.
Are you Alex Golesh?
It's different gods. He is the Russian gods. I don't know. I can't speak to those guys. It's not God. It's God.
Sports Talk Mississippi. Michael Borky, Brian Haydad with you. I have got an Olympics story for you coming up here in a little bit. Okay. I don't think Haydad's going to be able to get through it. We're going to try our best. There is a eye of the tiger, is it? There is a scandal, and it's a real story. There is a scandal brewing in ski jumping that involves how do I even say it and keep it on air appropriate?
Well, let's worry about that.
Performance enhancing.
Okay, we'll go to that when
we'll get there. I cannot wait to tell Haydad this story. But right now,
it's the college football fix.
It's the college football fix.
The college football fix is brought to you by your Mississippi Ford dealers. Built Ford Tough, the best-selling truck in America. No performance enhancers there, just good old American power. If you're looking for a new truck, there is only one place to be going. That is your Mississippi Ford dealers today. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Chris Del Conte, the athletic director at Texas, is trying to help change the calendar. And I like a lot of his ideas, and somebody in his position has some sway. So maybe this will start a movement. Here is a quote. It's a long quote, so forgive me for this one. But he says, quote, I will tell you that college football is built around your regular season. Do you guys really want nice, good games in DKR, their stadium? We can play these cream puffs and we can play an SEC schedule, but if the playoff is going to expand, which I prefer that it expands, you want them to have great games and value those great games as long as we have an opportunity to get into the postseason. I'm in favor of moving the schedule up a week. Start week 0, which is the last week in August. Be a little hot here, but we got to make sure it's a night game. I get that. But start in the last week of August and you play Labor Day weekend. I'm also in favor. Why have a conference championship game? Let's start the playoffs that week. Start the playoffs that week. Let's play every single week, and the semifinals are played on New Year's Day, which is college football, and the national championship a week later. That's what I'd like to see. I'm just one vote, but that's where we need to get to. That is, I mean, a lot of people, we want expansion, whatever. He is laying out a very clear, go to week 0. You would have 2 bye weeks in that scenario. So go to week 0, have 2 bye weeks, get rid of the conference championship game, expand the playoff to 16, because at that point the conference championship game is useless. So play playoffs that weekend instead, and you actually end the season on time. Here you go, boys. I'm one vote, but that's my vote. Let's make it happen. I like this.
I mean, I don't have a problem with anything that was just laid out there.
And it's different coming from Josh Pate or from us because we're just idea people talking. Yeah. That's Texas's athletic director laying out a plan.
I'm all about let's keep the momentum going. Let's not take 2-3 weeks off. Let's, get it done. And so that by New Year's Day, we're done with college football. I think that's what we want to do. I think that's what everybody really, truly wants.
He also, by the way, kind of took a shot at his own coach about scheduling, basically saying, I know what Sark said about scheduling soft games, but I'm not doing that, and we're not doing that. So
right.
I like that.
Good man.
Man.
See, we got people that want to be on the side of right.
Yeah. Or he wants to be on the side of, I've got to pay for everybody, so we're going to have these big home games.
Yeah, I mean, the college football calendar, again, this is just another one of those things that people in power could fix. It would take 5 minutes, but we can't get everybody on the same page. But yeah, like the conference championship game, I get because it's a moneymaker for these conferences. They sell as part of their media rights. It's gonna be tougher to get rid of that one.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. But the idea of just going ahead and starting the playoffs, if you want to keep the conference championship, that's fine. Start the playoffs the next week.
Yeah.
You can still easily be done by New Year's.
It is. Is it a cynical opinion? I just, the SEC championship, I watch it, but in the expanded playoff era, it just doesn't grab me the way it used to. It used to matter, and especially if they go to 16, what is the point of playing the SEC championship other than to hang a banner, which is awesome, right? Everybody loves to hang a banner, but would you rather have a healthy team in the playoffs or risk your quarterback getting hurt, which happened 2 years ago,
right? Just
to hang a banner. That's not the big
one. There's still some value in being the SEC champion, I think, to win the conference. I think that's something worth winning. But in this, you're correct in that this day and age of the playoff, where 3 or 4 or 5 teams are going to get in from one conference. I mean, Ole Miss finished tied for 3rd, I guess, in the SEC, maybe tied for 4th. Or not tied for 3rd.
They would have gone to the SEC championship had Alabama lost to Auburn.
So they were 3rd?
I guess, yeah.
I guess. So, but they were the last team standing. So would you rather have been Georgia or would you rather have been Ole Miss?
You'd rather have been Ole Miss. And
exactly.
It's obviously a unique circumstance considering coaching turnover and stuff, but
Ole
Miss did not want to go to the SEC championship.
Yeah. Somebody asked about Army-Navy, and I get it, but
give it its own time slot, and you're fine.
Yeah, just figure it out. Let them play. Let them start the day. 11 a.m., so it's noon on the East Coast. Army-Navy, and then when that game's over, round 1 of the playoffs starts.
Beautiful.
You can easily get that done. And if you got to play a Friday night game,
you already do.
Yeah, just play it.
So,
yeah,
I do want Army-Navy to have its own time slot, not necessarily day.
You could easily go 11 a.m. for Army-Navy, 2 o'clock or 2:30, 6, and then I don't know, we get an 8:30 in there or something? I don't know. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe you got some overlap, but it is what it is.
So some momentum possibly. You've got spring meetings coming up. I'm sure those won't be contentious in any way.
Nah, probably not.
Frankly, and I'm not just trying to expense a trip to 30A.
Oh, my God.
We should go.
I've seen the story now. Somebody just retweeted it into my timeline.
I cannot wait to give you the details of this story and why it's happening.
I can't wait to find out.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah, we should go to what? To spring meetings?
We should go.
I mean, the Baton Rouge guys are all at the Super Bowl this week.
Yeah, but they have an NFL team in their coverage area. That makes sense.
We have it. The Saints are in our coverage area.
I think they air them, don't they?
No, and there's no way. WWL will easily reach Baton Rouge.
Are you sure? It doesn't matter, but
yeah.
They technically
I can
are in an NFL market.
I mean, I guess.
We should be at the Super Bowl. Although, could you imagine how expensive?
They do not air the Saints.
They don't know. We need to go to spring meetings. The contentiousness of all the things that will go down there. How many schools are mad at each other right now?
Yeah.
Everybody's got these ideas about playoffs and the schedule's too hard and didn't get the playoff expanded and everybody's tampering and you tampered with my guy, I tampered with their guy, and we got to fix this, and Alabama's playing a professional basketball player. I mean, this is going to be...
There's going to be a lot on the people to talk about here, no doubt.
What if Army-Navy is in the playoffs?
Well, on the off chance that happens, I don't know, man. You know, what if the
Do you
sky
want
turns
your
green?
own? Do you want to play the game after everybody else is done or not? That's the risk you take.
You just have to tell them, like, these are your options.
Everybody else is done on this day. You're not.
Why not start the season with Army-Navy? And I
don't love that.
I don't like it either, but I think we don't like it because it's new. But, and I mean, part of it is like you have some bad weather games, and I get that. And plus, I've always some people talk about the Egg Bowl, man. If you lose the Egg Bowl week 1, like the rest of the season, you're just like,
you're done. Yeah,
you're just like, I don't want to do this.
You got to win
Army-Navy,
4 or 5 games in a row before you start getting excited again.
Army-Navy would be the same way. The team that lost would just be like, what are we doing out here? This is terrible. So I don't know, but I mean that maybe you just do you just say, well, we want to have our special day, so maybe we can't be in the playoff. I don't know.
That's your college football fix, driven by Ford and your local Mississippi Ford dealer. The Olympics have begun. They're here. They have started. And there is already a scandal. Although there was, I think, a women's hockey game that had to get canceled because one of the teams caught a stomach bug. You can fill in the blanks from there, and they couldn't play.
I get it. No, I get it.
There's another scandal, possible scandal, involving the ski jump that we're going to have to try our best to tell you about. And if there's little ones in the car, you'll have to put 1 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I can't
funny. Wait for the euphemisms we're about to throw out. We're going to throw out such sick euphemisms. It's going to be unbelievable.
A true story about the Olympics and the scandal brewing over there when we come back. Sports Talk Mississippi, Pearl River Resort Studio.
From the Venable...
The sports. This is Sports Talk Mississippi.
Sounds good.
On SuperTalk Mississippi.
Welcome back, Borky and Haydad, Sports Talk Mississippi. Somebody says this better be good. 2 teasers. I hope you think that this is good. Scandal brewing in the ski jump in the Winter Olympics. And if you haven't watched the Olympics or you're not familiar with it, you probably can guess that the margin between winning and losing and glory and failure is centimeters at times.
I mean, inches.
Truly a game of inches.
And we're talking about, in this game in particular, 1 inch could be a lot. A huge number.
It could be. And you've already seen that. So in bobsled in skeleton, they've already banned some helmets that Great Britain was preparing to wear because they were a little bit more aerodynamic and thus would have changed
Oh, God,
their
I was
scores.
going to wear me helmet out there.
Thursday, so today, things changed or went to a new level in the Olympics in Milan. Ski jumpers are allegedly injecting a particular part with hyaluronic acid.
Yeah. Part of their body.
A particular part of their body.
Side
they are
effects last
allegedly
more than 4 hours. Maybe contact a doctor.
Luckily, the ski jump's only a few seconds.
Well, maybe that has some things in common with some other things.
But they are injecting themselves with this acid to fly a little bit further. Well,
Who knew?
How does that happen? They actually had a press conference today about it. The World Anti-Doping Agency, the science behind why they do it.
Yeah.
Injecting the particular area of your body,
the region,
with the acid would, as you can imagine,
area.
Increase its size. And so when that happens...
What's the name of this substance again?
I'm
just asking for a friend.
Hyaluronic acid?
Can you buy that at like Walgreens or anything? I don't know.
But it increases, and therefore the suit... It becomes bigger in that particular... and can create a sail-like effect because the suit is then bigger. And you might be wondering, wait a minute, why don't they all just wear looser-fitting suits? They are not allowed to. They are 3D scanned. The suits are measured and 3D scanned to form-fit your body, so you cannot create a sail effect with your suit. But, allegedly... the athletes have learned that if you do that, you get a bigger suit, and thus the sail effect is in place.
Did they ever just try thinking about Margot Robbie? Would have the same effect.
I feel like there's other ways before the scan that you can...
I didn't realize I needed to inject something
to
have that happen.
Researchers said that a 2-centimeter change in the suit in that particular area could enhance your jump by almost...
Your what?
Your jump.
I thought you said your jump. I was like, what are we calling this?
By almost 6 meters. So a 2-centimeter change in your suit.
I need the conversion on this. So 2 centimeters, you said?
A 2-centimeter change in the suit.
That's less than an inch.
Could enhance your performance by almost 6 meters in the ski jump because it creates a sail effect. Apparently, they are at the present more amused than outraged at the moment, but a couple of Norwegian coaches.
Yeah. Leave it to the Norwegians to figure this out.
Were handed 18-month bans back on January 15th because they were manipulating the suits. So suit manipulation is a real thing.
There was definitely some manipulation happening.
So it's not uncommon to manipulate the suits, and they are presently investigating that.
Does this compound occur naturally in any delicious foods? Like instead of having to inject, I could just eat a bunch of, beef jerky or something.
I mean, our text line, we can't read any of these.
They're all, you all get it, though. We can read a few of these. A few of these can be read.
I will trust you with that. I will not tread into those waters.
Well, the best one is, I thought he said junk instead of jump. That's a good one. The Pythagorean theorem is funny. Somebody asked, are we still in sports talk? We're talking about the Olympics. The agony
a
of
scandal
defeat.
In the Olympics.
The joy of victory and the agony of defeat. This feels like something an OnlyFans subscription could have helped. You know, you don't have to do drugs.
And
guys, we're just going to watch a quick video before we go out there and do the ski jump. Oh, I'm good.
How do you test for this? How do you catch them?
Well, you just look. Like, hey,
but
buddy.
Do you have a before and after?
Yeah, you're just like, hey, buddy. That you gotta.
We're in Milan, man.
You know. You would think like the blood loss to the head would be something, be a problem up there in those high altitudes. I knew 2 centimeters was a lot. There you go. I've been saying it for years.
Somebody says you can't be the first dude to have noticed.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's first like, hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? Calm down, buddy. Hydrofluoric acid.
You've got to be correct when you make that accusation, or else. Oh man, the Olympics.
Somebody asked, "Is this what Chris Jones did at the 2014 Combine?" That's a good one. That's what happened. He was just hydrofluoric acid. Hydrofluonic? What is the word again?
Hyaluronic.
So no, come on now.
Hold on.
I need to know. Does it occur naturally?
Oh, there's no way.
Well, I'm asking. You say that it's an acid.
Hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic. HYALURONIC.
Yes, it occurs naturally in the human body and animals. It is a polysaccharide produced in the bodies.
So how do you catch him then?
It's a powerful humectant, meaning it binds to water to keep tissues hydrated, supple, and lubricated.
Okay, so not
in food.
So you can't test.
You can
for it,
get
really.
it in food. It's found in leafy greens, root vegetables, soy, citrus fruit, and nuts. Bone broth is a rich, direct source. I'm not making this up. That was what broke me. I held on till the end. But bone broth is the one that got me.
Sebby says 100% started with somebody going, I know this sounds crazy, but...
A diet including starchy vegetables, soy products, and leafy greens help boost your natural levels. Also, you can get it from animal organs like liver, kidney, and tongue.
Oh.
I can see... You know what? That's a great joke. And if we were on satellite radio, I would make it right now, but I just can't, folks. That might be the one that gets me in trouble. What a great joke, though. It's in my head right now. Guys, I'm going to reach out my hand here on SuperTalk TV. Connect with me. Get into my brain, and you can hear that joke. It's a great joke.
Apparently, USA and Norway are curling against each other. What kind of tricks do the Norwegians have up their sleeves in curling?
Somebody says I'm going to start injecting bone broth. I can just drink it. It's just soup. I don't have to do crazy stuff.
Oh, my gosh. Can't make it up, guys.
You can't.
You cannot make that up.
Yeah. Bone broth is the one that got me. Does it go straight? I guess. Maybe save that joke for Thunder and Lightning. I mean, if it gets brought up, somebody wants to ask me in the rumblings about this scandal, I'll make the joke.
Yeah, in the podcast, you can be a little bit more...
I can be a little looser, unlike these guys' suits.
Think about the winners.
It looks like 2 centimeters, but it felt like 6 meters. That's what has happened here.
Like on the PGA Tour, they test drivers sometimes to make sure you're not using an illegal driver. What happens to the gold medalist? Do they have to get tested just to make sure that they were legit?
I don't know.
Real story. Not one word.
Break out a tape measure, I guess.
Was made up.
Yeah.
Scandal in Milan, apparently. Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll be back. Maybe.
The friggin' wax out of your ears. Did you hear me?
This is Sports Talk. Mississippi.
Woo! I say, sports fans.
Now, here's more on Super Talk Mississippi.
So what now? Huh? That's got to be a last segment deal. We can't come back from that. We're gonna go back to sports now.
Yeah, the text on it. I hate to be the one who jumps the shortest.
I know. What's up, buddy? Sorry.
Imagine the looks you get in the locker room.
Yeah, you're like, oh god, that guy.
How much Olympics you gonna watch? Are you? Are you
more
in
now? Apparently, I don't know.
You gotta watch the ski jump.
I gotta know who's what's going on there. I don't know. It's what the Olympics are just one of those things where you know what hurts the Olympics is streaming. Like I don't channel surf anymore. Right? I'm not just sitting in front of the TV flipping channels and I'll come across the Olympics and be like, oh, the Olympics. I'll watch this for a few minutes. Right? I gotta be set to watch the Olympics.
And a lot of it is on Peacock.
Dang it, Borky.
It is, I swear.
You did that
it
on
is.
purpose.
I swear it is, though.
That was on purpose.
I swear that
gun.
it is. Yeah.
I thought we had left all that behind, and then you threw that in there.
I mean, we could lock into curling tomorrow. USA versus Canada.
Yeah. The Canadians, I believe, are really good.
That starts when our show starts tomorrow, so we can live react to the curling.
We should absolutely live react because next week when the show starts, we'll be getting ready for baseball with at State and Ole Miss and Southern, and we'll probably definitely have live reactions to all that. We should get ready. Little preseason work there. We'll watch the curling and react.
Gosh, man, if you guys are really ready, Saturday, Great Britain versus USA.
Is that in curling?
In curling.
Okay.
8:30 in the morning, so you can have coffee curling if you'd like. That's something.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's really mostly what I mean. The women's hockey has begun. The men, I don't think, start until next weekend, right? Isn't that the case? But yeah, curling and then the downhill skiing will start on Sunday. Lindsey Vonn, by the way, doing squats.
Yeah.
On an exploded ACL. Posted video of her doing squats and other workouts and stuff on her knee. She's good to go, apparently. That'll be a fun storyline to watch.
Yeah.
I hope she does well.
I do too. As we've talked about, there's something about this. You train your whole life. You have this injury. Give it a go. Give it a go. And if you fail, I don't think anybody's gonna point at you and laugh. Right? They're gonna hey, it meant so much to her that she was willing to gut through a debilitating injury to have her moment in time. And if she succeeds, she becomes one of the greatest stories of all time.
I mean, imagine 41 years old,
on a
recently
torn ACL.
exploded ACL.
And even if she just gets bronze, it's a huge story. I always, as a wrestling fan, we talk about Kurt Angle won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Same thing here, so.
The hockey for the men will start next Thursday at 2. So if you guys are into that, I'm into that. I'll probably get in trouble, but I might wear my Mike Eruzione jersey to the show that day.
That'll be fine. Well, who's going to say something?
I mean, I'm in the spirit, right?
Yeah, it's fine. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
They're just happy that the sports guys show up with decent clothes to begin with. Like they're just, as long as they're just alive and talking, we don't have to worry about them. It's Richard Cross that I got to worry about.
That's the guy.
That's the guy you got to worry about. Host of Mornings with Richard Cross for your 3 hours of politics and pop culture, the occasional sports as well. 6 to 9 right here on these very stations.
Something like that.
Something like that. George says, get 2 screens going and do play-by-play on curling and daytime soap operas.
I mean, well, the daytime soap operas, unfortunately, are over by the time we get on the air, right? Unless we're just going to, record Days of Our Lives, but I don't think we're going to do that. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for the curling. I've been trying to get a TV in this studio for a while now. There's stuff on. Like how much it would be easier for me to be able to the next week, right? To be able to put the Mississippi State game on a television over here and be able to watch.
Yeah.
You got 5 TVs in that
But
studio.
none of them I can stream any video on.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, other than that.
Figure it out.
So I can get I think I can get the baseball stream, but it pauses a lot. Just think about how much stuff is running off of these computers. Yeah. So I'll have my iPad. That will be fun. Next Friday, baseball season does begin, and we will be here. Mm-hmm. Although baseball will, I haven't heard yet what exactly. I think baseball is going to cover up all of our stations, but we'll be live streaming. So if you want to pull the baseball up, guys, and kick back and put us on the app and watch your baseball, and we'll just sit here and hang out and react together to it. That's next Friday. We'll do that. We got a busy calendar coming up. So tomorrow is the last day before the Super Bowl. Monday is obviously reacting to the Super Bowl. First pitch baseball and the injunction hearing all next week for middle of February with a couple of basketball teams that are not in anything significant.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot to talk about with you guys over the next few days. There's a lot going on.
So the 12th is that?
The 12th.
Correct? Okay.
That is correct. I guess I should go. I need to ask a real reporter. I need to send Michael Katz a message like, hey, do you know if we can watch this inside?
Yeah. I'm sure.
He'll know.
Even if you can't go inside, you can be in the courthouse, and when people come out, you can be like, well, what are your thoughts on, get reaction?
It would be.
I'm going to be outside selling T-shirts and bottles of water.
I need to do what Marty Smith did around Oxford, just live check-ins of nothing.
Your hair needs to get progressively worse every time. Like by the time we get to the end, it's just mussed up. It's just everywhere.
A producer at ESPN had such big ideas for what Marty was going to cover, and he got nothing.
Yeah.
He got nothing. For 2 days, he was just hanging out at the facility. All right, let's check into Marty Smith in Oxford with an update on the Lane Kiffin situation.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, guys, somebody walked by earlier.
Yeah.
Back to you in the studio.
What? Yeah, that's what happened.
Cars parked in the parking lot. I saw a squirrel.
One of the Grove squirrels?
Speaking of that, there's friend sent me some pictures earlier. They are having to do a lot of clearing of the Grove. It's kind of a sad photograph. Now, not all of them. Not all the trees are gone, but they had to do a lot. And
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, there's just no way around that with that kind of ice situation that the Grove wasn't going to be damaged. But I'm sure by the time Labor Day rolls around, it'll be back to all its full glory.
You might see some. This is just me guessing. You might see some new trees planted. I would bet on that.
Yeah.
To help, because they lost some during the drought 2 years ago too.
Hydrofluoric acid in the roots, and it'll just grow right out.
There you go. Yeah.
A few centimeters at a time. Be just fine.
Yeah. So I guess, was it 3 years ago now, that drought? But they lost some in the drought, too, and then now you've got this. So they might need to maybe add there. But
Perhaps so.
Perhaps. I saw Starkville's almost done getting into the roundabout game.
So there's been a roundabout here in Starkville for a long time. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's before the first Ole Miss one. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to go down that road.
I don't care about going down that road either.
There's been one on Blackjack Road forever. And so, yeah, but Starkville's getting a little more serious about the roundabouts now, which, whatever.
I don't know how people don't like them. They are so much better than stoplights.
they're fine.
If you know how to navigate them anyway. If you don't, and it's one of those weird ones that you've never seen before, I get that. But like if you live in the area of which there is a roundabout, it is awesome to not have to go through stoplights. I hate stoplights. Give me roundabouts 100 times out of 100. You never stop moving.
You're just a big fan of the band Yes. You love the roundabout.
Great reference. Yeah, sick bass line there too.
Oh, it's incredible, yeah. So,
have y'all been through Pittsburgh, Mississippi? I have actually.
Vacuuming?
Yes, somebody is vacuuming outside the studio door.
Can we ixnay on that for just 10 more minutes? You think? Trying to work here. I'm trying to be a professional.
I can't believe that 6-inch thick door.
Well, I mean, as we just learned, every centimeter matters.
You can hear that through that door. I'm blown away that can be heard.
Very clearly, yeah.
Off the rails is where we are.
That's where we are right now, yeah, 100%.
So glad that you guys are with us. Somebody says courtroom should be open to the public. I agree on cases that do not involve minors. Yes, I think
they used to do interviews after every decision on the People's Court. So why can we not do that here?
Yeah, I think every
Judge Wapner,
court case that does not involve like sensitive information like that should be open to the public.
This does not have any sensitive information. So
none. It is the most it's
literally if it goes one way or the other, no one's gonna die. I promise.
Somebody will become a multimillionaire though.
One way or the other. Yeah.
Sports Talk Mississippi. We'll wrap the show up with you next.
From the Venable Glass.
Sports Talk Mississippi.
Are you ready?
On the SuperTalk app, supertalk.fm, and always on your local SuperTalk Mississippi station.
Hard to believe this is Thursday's Sports Talk Mississippi.
This week's going by fast, isn't it?
Well, that's not what I was saying. Like all the out of school stuff we've done today, it feels much more like a Friday show. We got to come back tomorrow and be serious again.
We do, and I mean, it's a byproduct of basketball not giving us anything right now.
That's a good point. We normally would have had some stuff to talk about.
Next week, I'm excited for.
Oh, yeah.
In baseball, full transparency, baseball is my number 3 in the big 3 sports. I think that football is obviously the best. And if you have good basketball teams, meaningful basketball is one of my favorite things in sports. It's just so electric and consuming. Baseball is generally my 3rd. I like it. I like the atmospheres. I have not been to a game at the New Dude. I went to the old one a handful of times. Loved the environment. Love the environment at Swayze Field. It's like baseball's big here, and I love what it does for our show and for the state and for the universities. But it doesn't grab me. This baseball season, I'm grabbed. I am so grabbed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it should be fantastic. We got 3, depending on what poll you look at, we got 3 top 25 teams,
Yeah, I mean, Brian O'Connor, new and exciting. Southern Miss, steady and solid. With Ole Miss, I mean, what if they miss the tournament? Things get weird.
That would be
things get weird.
Yeah, be a little odd.
But this team is good enough and should not.
Problem,
but that is a thing. What if they miss, and then what happens there? And also, you've got a team that's frankly that should win, and they should hit the long ball. You already do, students, but bring extra beer this year. You've got like 6 dudes that are going to hit double-digit home runs. I mean, it's just a power baseball team this year. So that's fun and exciting, too, on the flip side. So what if they're not good? But if they are good, you're going to hit home runs all the time.
Right.
And that's fun to be around, too. There's a lot to like about just baseball season upcoming next week, thank goodness.
Yeah. State's same way. State should be putting the ball over the fence quite a bit this upcoming year. I mean, Reese is a potential 20 home run guy. So is Sullivan. Teal has power. Mizlewski has power behind the plate. I'm trying to work my way around the lineup, and I mean, if Jacob Parker gets into the lineup, he's got a ton of potential to be a big power guy. So there's just a lot of options there for State. I mean, even Bryce Chance is a guy who can put it over the fence a good bit.
And then tomorrow, we will also know who makes the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We will also know who the Rookie of the Year is. We'll have that to talk about. Tyler Shuck did win the fan vote, though. The Saints quarterback won the Pepsi NFL Rookie of the Year, which is not the AP voters. That is exclusively fans. Right. But if the fans had it their way, they would have had it the correct way, by the way. Tyler Shuck was the best rookie in the NFL this season.
Agreed. 100%.
I don't care that he's 26.
No.
He's still a rookie.
So we'll have 26-year-old quarterbacks in the NFL being rookies, but 23-year-old college kids, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
But yeah, that'll be. I mean, you've got a lot of good names getting rejected by the Hall of Fame. This vote is going to be fascinating. Drew Brees, right, is up for it.
Yeah, but he's in.
He's going to get in.
He's 100% going to be in. There's no 0% question that he will be one of the inductees.
That will be fun to talk about tomorrow. And just kind of do a, hey, remember how awesome Drew Brees was for 10 minutes tomorrow? Yes. That'll be great.
Yeah.
Man, I don't think Shuck is Drew Brees. I'm not saying that, but I do. The optimism of finding QB1.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we also got our Super Bowl menu idea, Food Friday, in a sense of talk about tomorrow.
That and the props.
Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. It's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a good show. Hopefully, no more controversy regarding sensitive areas. It's a sensitive topic, so hopefully, no more of that will be the case.
Thank you guys so much for making our show a part of your day. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcasts wherever you get them. State Fan, Thunder and Lightning. If you're not listening to Thunder and Lightning, you're in the minority. More State fans than anywhere else listening to Brian Haydad and Robbie Falk in podcast form. Anyway, of course, our podcast, Sports Talk Mississippi, wherever you get them except for Spotify, but that's coming soon. And then the Rebel Report. If you're an Ole Miss fan looking for more Ole Miss, there you go. We'll be live tonight, actually, talking about the Trinidad case.
There you go.
So don't forget to subscribe to the Rebel Report wherever you get your podcast. And the Eagle Hour for you Southern Miss fans out there. We've got offerings for all three. Check them out wherever you get your podcasts. He's Haydad, I'm Borky. Thank you for making our show a part of your day. We'll see you tomorrow talking Super Bowl, all kinds of stuff, starting at 3. Y'all have a good night.
SuperTalk Mississippi Media Production.